Hey guys, welcome to another Syntax Inferno tutorial, and today we will be looking at while loops and how you can incorporate them in your own code. Let's get into it. Now before we get started, you want to make sure on your system you at least have some form of IntelliJ, because this is where we will be coding. They have an Ultimate Edition, they have a Community Edition. As you see, it doesn't matter which one you have. It really comes down to preference. The Ultimate Edition will cost you money, but the Community Edition is free and you get everything you need to get started with coding. To begin, I'm gonna start by explaining, well, what exactly are while loops and what are they used for? Now, to look at while loops, we'll have to split it into two different areas because there's two different types of while loops. You have do while loops and then you have regular while loops. Essentially, a while loop is a loop that repeats itself as long as the condition of the Boolean statement within the loop remains true. What this essentially means is that the statements within the loop will continue to repeat themselves until the Boolean statement as the condition of the loop becomes false. So right now what we are going to do, we're just going to code a quick while loop together just to explain the understanding a little better, and you can actually get a visual of what it looks like. So as you see, I already created my own project and I already set up the main method and created my own class. You can go ahead and do this and pause the video for a second. Now to begin, the first thing I want to do is I want to create a count variable. And to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create an integer called count and set it equal to 0. Now the reason I want to do this is because I want this to be part of our conditional statement and I want it to increment and eventually become false. We're going to have our while loop print something out a certain number of times. Now to create our while loop, what we're going to do is we're going to do while, then parentheses, and curly braces, and down here is where we will put all of our statements that we want to repeat. Inside the parentheses is where we put our Boolean statement, aka our condition, and our condition is going to be when count is less than or equal to 5. Now that we have the foundation of our while loop, we can go ahead and start adding our statement that we want to repeat. Because we want our count to increase each time this loop runs through, we're going to have our count increment by doing count and then plus plus. Next, we're going to have a simple text that we're going to have the program print out each time that it loops through. Now for printing out our text, we're going to use a simple print line method. If you want to know how to use the print line method, I will leave a link in my description to another video I have explaining on how to use those. But in this program, we're going to simply do system.out.println, and then inside our parentheses, we're going to go ahead and for our text, we're going to just say syntax inferno. Oop, little typo. Now we have our while loop, we have our statements. Now we can go ahead and run this.
Licensing reimagined.
And as you will see, it will print out syntax inferno 6 times. Now you're probably wondering, we plugged in 5. Why did it print it out 6 times? That's because we started at 0 and we didn't start at 1, and we're going until it equals 5. So we have to count 0 to 5, which is 6 digits. So now that we've completed a basic while loop, I can explain a do while loop, which is a reverse while loop essentially. A do while loop starts with the statement you want to include inside the while loop and then goes to the conditions of the Boolean statement to check if it's true or false. Then it will decide whether if it's going to repeat or it's going to end right there. Let's take a look at what this looks like. To start this, the first thing we're going to do is, once again, we're going to create our count variable. And we're going to do exactly how we did before. We're just going to call it count and set it equal to 0. Next, instead of doing the while first, how a do while works is we're going to do and then 2 curly braces. and inside those curly braces is where we will put our statements. So like before, we're going to have our count increment, and then we're going to have our print line, where once again you can put whatever text you want to print out, but I'm going to do my name, Syntax Inferno. Now that we have our statements listed, we can go ahead and create our actual while loop. And how we do this is right next to this curly brace, the second one, you're going to do while, and then we're going to include our parentheses, and then you're going to end it right there. Inside our parentheses is where once again, that's where we're going to put our Boolean expression. And we're going to call this, once again, we're going to do count is less than or equal to 5. Now that we have completed our do while loop, we can go ahead and run this. And as we will see, we will get the same thing. Like I said, a do while loop and a while loop are the exact same thing, just different formats. Like I said, do while starts with the statements and a while starts with the condition. Thank you for tuning in for another Syntax Inferno tutorial. Please make sure you like and subscribe to see more tutorials and tips on how you can better your programming. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.